We're on Tony Vitello watch as we try to figure out, will he stay, will he go? And I got to say that last night, it seems like we've officially hit a tipping point where the pitchforks got out. And that, at least online, Danny White is now in the crosshairs if Tony Vitello leaves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a scene on the Vol X if Tony goes. Kavaris Tears tweeted out a gif of Tony.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
I don't know what that means. So you had him tweet that out. You had Jared Dickey teasing that there's more behind the scenes with Danny White in baseball than you would ever know.
And then deleting it.
I woke up to bad news that a group text has been sent out that a deal's in place for Tony to go to San Francisco. That former players have been notified that a deal's in place and that he's going. But you still hope until you get, it was a yo-yo last night, even with the VolQuest chat, where at first, the mood was kind of somber. And then Austin Price is like, actually, I'm leaning now towards Vitello staying. And everybody freaks out like, yes, Austin knows something. He wouldn't say that without having a good source on it. And then Austin has to come back and basically just be like, actually, no. I'm just telling you, it's just the feeling, guy. It's not me hearing anything, guys. Like, relax. Don't run to Twitter and tell everybody I'm saying he's staying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you that I got a feeling he maybe stays. So we're all kind of chasing things now and chasing feelings and vibes and waiting on an update.
What's the deal with the group text? It was a leak?
Nah, it's just there's a group chat of former players, and I mean, I guess it's a leak if I know about it, and I'm not a former player, but like,
clearly,
I got friends, I got connections, and it just said that the deal's in place, that Vitello had a deal in place to leave, that it was finalized.
Well, that's not good.
That's the first thing I saw this morning when I woke up at about 6:30 a.m. So, like, I don't even really have time to like process it. We're just talking with like friends on the radio.
Sure. That's not good to hear. I mean, that's
but Kavaris Tears, tweeted that out after that. I would imagine it would be. So
did you see the text, or just you got the information that there was a text?
Are you wanting to see the text?
Well, yeah. I mean,
You're
I'm
not allowed
just
to
curious.
See it. You're not allowed to see it.
Okay.
Can I see it?
No. I might get in trouble for even talking about it.
Well, it's pertinent information. I mean, it's very important to know whether or not Tony's leaving us.
Now, the words of finalized, a deal finalized, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that. Doesn't necessarily mean he's gone. It could just mean like, hey, they finally have come to an understanding of what the deal would look like.
Deal's on the table.
Like the deal's hammered out. Like the buyout, everything, money, everything, it's finalized. Now it just comes down to whether or not you want it. Like that's still a possibility. So like I'm stopping short of saying like I'm reporting Tony's gone. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you I woke up to a text.
I think it's saddening me more now than it did when I first heard it. I think
you kind of laughed about it and wanted it to happen when it first came out. You just wanted a little excitement.
No, I didn't.
During the bye week, you're like, it'd be kind of cool, be exciting around here.
No, it's not what I said. I'm talking about Saturday when I first heard that, like, because we kind of took it as Saturday at first. It's like, oh, well, he's gone, and at that point I was just like, well, whatever, baseball, that was fun. We won a natty, whatever. But now I'm kind of like, I don't want Tony to leave. I'll be pretty upset if Tony leaves because now I'm like, well, what do we do with that springtime? You go from being relevant in baseball to not even caring about it again.
Now, see, I think that's extreme. I think that's extreme.
Is it? I don't know. I mean,
Now, maybe not for you, maybe not for everybody, but like I think a lot of people will give the baseball program a chance in the next couple of years. If Vitello were to leave and it's Josh Elander getting his chance as the head coach, like I think you'll have the fan base rally behind him and support him and still support the boys.
Well, I'm worried it could crater the entire athletic department. Because
Well,
I'm afraid these people are going to get redneck mad online and try to run Danny out of town. And, I think that's not the right idea. That's not the thing to do, is it? To run Danny White out of town? You got the best athletic director in the country.
yeah, see that is going to be the interesting part of the fallout. And it was kind of wild to see that's where we got last night. Sam, do you feel that way about Danny? Bubba, do you feel that way about Danny?
I mean, I think, you can look at it two ways. I do think that maybe some of the common fan experience stuff has been priced out a little bit, but at the same time, he's a good businessman. And, in today's day and age of college athletics, unfortunately, kind of the business takes the cake a little bit in some of these things. And I think you do have to kind of sacrifice some of that if you want to compete at the highest level in as many sports that we're trying to compete in. And, it seems like the kind of the holdup now is maybe you got to the mountaintop in one of those sports in baseball, and now you're trying to maybe parse out some some money into some different places to try and be able to kind of spread the wealth a little bit.
Regarding Tony Vitello, I'm kind of don't side with Tennessee fans, and I take Cody's original stance. I want Tony Vitello to take the San Francisco Giants job.
You want him to go there?
I do, because one, it's an opportunity for him to continue to learn and develop and grow as a coach. That's always respectable in my opinion. That's also at the top of the highest level of sport that you are in. For Tennessee, what else do we want from the guy? He has left this place so much better than what he's found it in. He came in here, he ripped up the floors, put down hardwood floors, and retiled the bathroom. Got us a national championship, improved our facilities, top 5 classes. Now we're looked at as a program that has, gained respect all across, whether or not we wanted respect, we just wanted to win.
Yeah, but
then the Giants is just like such a storied program too. A lot of great players, location-wise. If you want to jokingly say, you become the Freddie Mercury of, baseball, let him go for that.
But that all begins and ends with him, though. All that success and everything you talk about, like if he leaves, that's irrelevant, isn't it?
I don't think you can.
We
call
still
it
have a natty in the trophy case. We still have our $1 million plus facilities and batting cages and concourse experience.
Yeah, but I think the reason people would be sad is because it feels like he's still building. He's still building it. Like the recruiting is at a level that's been pretty phenomenal, and you kind of expect more championships now.
I would be sad strictly because of Tony Vitello, the character, the person, the sounds cheesy, but like the Vol, the Knoxvillian. Like I think he has really embraced the culture. Like he's a good representation. He is cool. Like we've talked about him being the big guy on campus. He's kind of the public face of Tennessee in a lot of ways, or at least, he's one of those guys. I would be sad in that regard. I don't think the team would necessarily fall apart immediately. Like I think you would have a chance to keep the train rolling if you're Elander. Now, look, I do think a lot of people have given him, Elander, credit for being maybe a better baseball mind and also being one of the better recruiters, or being being our ace recruiter, being a big part of that success. Now, I still maintain that becomes a lot easier when you're recruiting people to play for Tony. Like I do think, like Elander getting guys to come play for him, I think he can still do it at a high level, but I don't know if he can do it at the same level we've been doing it at.
Well, yeah, this Elander guy, I mean, I hear good things about him, but he's not Tony.
He's not. He's not
Tony's
Tony.
the king of town.
No, he's not Tony, and I'm not trying to make it sound like Tony. I'm just saying I don't think baseball falls apart and goes back to a doormat without him, is all I'm saying. Like, I still think you would be a top 20 program. I still think you would be in the mix for regionals and super regionals and all that. You just, A, wouldn't be the face of the sport, and B, wouldn't have Tony Vitello, and B, championship or bust, Omaha or bust. I think that's how my expectations change.
That's also under the assumption that Elander gets the job and that Danny doesn't want to bring in his own guy and put his stamp on it.
I would imagine that Danny, A, wouldn't think that he is like a baseball expert that has a Rolodex that he could easily call and get in October, past hiring season. And B, I think if there was ever a program to try to keep rolling with guys who, because Elander has been like a coaching candidate at other places, like he is a respected guy. Like, I think if there was ever a time just to be like, hey, keep it going, like it would be this situation. So I would be shocked. Like, I think Danny would lose a lot of people if he, tried to go and completely change things.
Well, he's going to lose a lot of people anyway because Danny's not likable and Tony is beloved.
He's going to lose people online. He's going to lose a handful. Like, he's going to lose a group of people online. I don't know if I would consider that a lot when you look at like the Tennessee fan base.
I mean,
is he losing you?
No, he's not losing me.
He's not losing Sam. He's not losing me. Bubba, would he lose you?
I'm grateful for Danny White personally. The athletic department's in the best shape it's ever been.
I wouldn't really say he lost me. He lost me a long time ago. So
okay, so you're already out on Danny. What Danny do to you?
I just the ticket prices.
Yeah,
fix the.
I don't like spending over $200 to see Tennessee play ETSU.
Yeah, I think that's just because the team's good.
Yeah, I think that's the problem too.
Yeah, I think you're pining for 6 and 6 days when you could just get in there and watch the game. I think being good.
Yeah, but look, perception matters.
Oh, it does.
And Danny is not likable. Tony's beloved. People are going to blame it squarely on Danny White.
I don't think that's going to be the majority of our fan base. I think this is a Twitter echo chamber that I don't know like how much it actually like reaches like people like my mom and people.
You don't think people on Facebook are going to be
I don't know.
Danny on this thing?
I don't know because like I don't think it's necessarily rational. Now, I know that hasn't stopped people before, but, like, I don't think Tony's leaving us for a lateral job. I don't think he would be leaving us to go to a different college. Like, I think he'd be leaving us to go and make history. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be going to be the only coach in history that has gone from college straight to the pros. That doesn't happen. College coaches don't get to cut the line. Usually it's like, hey, former major league player or guys worked in the minors, guys worked on a bench for 20 years, finally gets a chance. This is kind of unprecedented.
Yeah, it would be.
So like
first guy ever.
So like I don't know how much I would blame Danny White for Tony Vitello wanting one of the 10 biggest jobs in Major League Baseball. And like they did play. Most major league managers don't make a lot of money. Like I think I was looking yesterday, and this numbers was accurate as of 2024. So give or take a couple managers, maybe some things changed, but only 12 guys in baseball made more than $1.6 million in Major League Baseball. So the vast majority of franchises aren't breaking the bank. However, the San Francisco Giants were one of those who were paying their last manager $4 million. So, like, I don't know if that's the starting rate for Tony Vitello, but, like, they're a franchise that is a have. They spend money. They tried to sign Aaron Judge a couple years ago. They are one of the top-paying franchises when it comes to managers. So it's a job where you can actually go and try to compete. Now, you're going to get dwarfed by the Dodgers, like Sam pointed out yesterday, and I thought that was a really good point. Like, it seems like you're kind of setting yourself up just to go head-to-head with Saban every year when you kind of look at the spending difference. But at the same time, it's one of 30 jobs, and it's really one of, like, 10 jobs when you look at the franchises in baseball that matter. I don't know what Danny White can do to make him stay. ultimately. To me, it's kind of impressive I'm taking a little pride and maybe a moral victory that it's even a debate, that we've even got to, day 4 of this, or, whatever, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, day 4 of this, where Tony's like, actually, no, I'm not 100% going just yet.
Well, the thought was, maybe the longer it drags out, the better you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're still there.
I don't know if we are either. Like the timeline that baseball writers gave was 24 to 72 hours. So like we're kind of, today is kind of that 72nd hour, if you will. The league championship series is over. We got a week to wait until the World Series starts.
Starts on Friday.
Okay, so yeah, we basically got this week to wait until the World Series starts. If you were a baseball franchise wanting to get a little buzz and stay in the news and have baseball still be in the news, you'd make the announcement today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe if it doesn't happen today, maybe it fell through is my hope.
I had, switched back to, 55 staying last night when I went to bed. The news of that text maybe knocks me back down to 40.
Yeah.
Because, again, I just want to reiterate, I don't think the text is a final blow. I think if the text was from Vitello, if it was Vitello telling the players he's taking, the deal's finalized, I think that's completely different. But that's not what it was. It was, an agent kind of relaying some stuff. But again, all it did was move me to 40.
Was it Tony's agent?
No.
Well, Jimmy Sexton, right?
This Jimmy Sexton guy.
That's who represents Tony. So.
This Jimmy Sexton guy. I thought it was very poor taste of Lane Kiffin to have him on the sideline on Saturday during his contract courting, as Florida's beating down the door for him. I thought it was very in poor taste to have Jimmy Sexton there, walking out with Lane. Lane basically saying, yeah, you're going to have to break the bank for me either way, Ole Miss or Florida. Somebody's going to have to pay me. I thought that was poor taste. I don't know if I like this Jimmy Sexton guy. And now after what he's doing with Tony Vitello, I don't think I like him at all.
He's been a weasel ever since we first found out about him.
He's a damn Vol.
Some years ago.
He's on my hated list, man. I think number 1 is Feinbaum. After what Feinbaum pulled on Saturday, did you guys see his quote on they're doing the 3rd Saturday in October,
yeah.
and Roman Harper's up there doing a whole I hate Alabama or I hate Tennessee thing, blah blah blah. And then Feinbaum's I always say I went to Tennessee because I didn't get into my first choice, Alabama. They told me no. And I was like, oh, this son of a gun. Go to hell.
Couldn't get into Alabama, huh?
So Feinbaum, number 1. I don't like him. Everything Todd McShay said about him being a weasel and a punk was accurate. But this damn Jimmy Sexton, he might be number 2 on the list. And for some people, Danny White might be ahead of both of them. Let us know what you think in the chats. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio. Over on the chat, Freaky Frankfurter writes in F. Danny White. Okay, well, I appreciate him censoring himself.
So that you didn't have to read that word on air.
I know. I appreciate that. Let's keep the chat PG-13. R. Bilb 12 says his pitchfork is out for Danny if he lets Tony leave. We're an everything school only because of the baseball, basketball, and softball coaches that the prior ADs hired.
Well,
BV argues back saying the Giants can double his salary and it's the damn big leagues. How can Danny compete? Which I think that's that's kind of where I'm at. Is that I don't think there's much Tennessee can do here if Tony wants to go. Now, look, the doubling the salary, it is important to put the caveat in of like, yeah, it's doubling your salary in California.
Yeah.
With California taxes and California cost of living. So, like, I don't know how much more money it actually is. If it's just $4 million, let's just call it $4 million compared to the $2 million he was making here. Like, I don't know how much more actual money that ends up being. I think it's more about the honor of being the Giants manager and being the first college coach to get this call. I think that is at play much more than the money.
That cost of living is a real thing too. It's it's everything from a damn cheeseburger to a haircut out there. You know, you think you're going to a Great Clips to get your hair cut, and it's, the same price everywhere, right? Like it's a national chain, a Great Clips haircut. I mean, it's $18 in Tennessee. Surely it'd be 18 out here too. No, the Great Clips in California, it's like $35 damn dollars. It's everything. The cost of living the gas is insane. I mean, of course, everybody knows about the taxes. The damn gas. First time Tony gets his big rig out there and fills that gas tank up, he's going to be having some regrets.
It is funny, but like I do feel like you wouldn't even really consider yourself wealthy at $4 million a year. Like, you're well off, don't get me wrong, but like I do think you'd feel a lot richer here.
Oh, for sure.
With your $2 million and already kind of having a house and everything versus like $4 million in San Francisco.
I mean, you're living comfortably at $4 million a year.
Yeah, again, I'm not crying poor for him, but like you're in a place with a lot of money and you're very low on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that area specifically is even more expensive than, say, L.A. Or like the Bay Area. That's the most expensive place in the country, more so than New York City.
And again, I'm not crying poor for him. Like he'll be fine. He'll be well compensated. He'll be fine. But like, I just don't think this is a money play in the grand scheme of things. Do you think Tony's been telling this to us the whole time that he has Major League Baseball aspirations? Like, because I do say like all the draft coverage feels a little bit different now. Like him being on, the MLB Network and hanging out with Harold Reynolds and like doing all the stuff with baseball, Major League Baseball around the draft and everything, and the battle at Bristol or whatever the baseball version was of that. Like, do you think that was him telling us like, hey, I like these Major League Baseball circles?
Well, I always thought that if he left us, that's what it would be for.
Yeah.
People were worried about Arkansas and LSU when Mississippi State, when that job came open even. And I was like, Tony ain't leaving Tennessee for another SEC job, not after what he's built here. I always thought if he left, it would be a major league job. I worried about the Cardinals because that's where he grew up. He was a Cardinals fan. And I always thought if he had that opportunity that maybe he would leave us for the St. Louis job. But I mean, I get it. I just hope it's spun in a way, if he does leave. Like, I would like to see Tony say something, which you're probably not going to get that, but
you'll get it if he leaves. Like you'll get him. He'll put out a statement like Tony's going to handle this with class. He's not going to turn his back on Knoxville. Like
no, but like I'm talking about from the Danny White standpoint.
He's just going, well, I mean, whether or not you believe it, the statement will be something like, this is a dream opportunity I couldn't pass up. Like,
yeah,
is essentially what he'll say. He'll come out and he won't burn bridges, and he'll still be, the very affable, personable Tony that knows how to handle everybody. Like, Tony's not going to burn this down on the way out because assumingly he's going to leave behind his players and his coaches. Like, he's going to want this to stay healthy. And Bubba talked about building the legacy and turning it into winners and everything. Like, what happens at Tennessee baseball after Tony Vitello leaves, if he does still impact his legacy.
Yeah,
and his standing in the community.
And I mean, I'm fine with it if he does, if that's just what he wants to do. Like he's given us everything we could ever dream of. Like I don't think anybody will be holding anything against Tony, but I think people will be looking for somebody to blame.
Oh, 100%. That's already happened to some.
Yeah. And I just, that negativity, I mean, I hate to see that as Danny White will be the scapegoat, whether or not he can control it or not, whether there's anything he can do about it or not. And it may be as simple as he can't. I mean, I think we should maybe keep that in mind. It's like maybe this is just what Tony wants to do, and it's as simple as that. I mean,
and I guess we've been saying $2 million, but I think it's $3 million Tony makes here, according to Andy in the chat. I said $2 million. Yeah, it's kind of wild how quickly that ballooned up to $3 million. But so yeah, it's even less of a huge increase in salary.
I mean, Danny White made him the highest paid coach in baseball, right?
I think
in
Jay
college.
Johnson at LSU got like a couple $1,000s more than him after the second.
I think
national
Jay Johnson
championship.
makes like 3.2.
But at the
3.
time, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
Tony?
yeah. And I don't think Tony would have a problem with Jay Johnson, who's won 2 national championships in 3 years. I don't think that's like disrespectful to Tony to be behind him.
I mean, we're building him the new stadium. It's not, now I think Tony's a little maybe miffed by the fact that it's taken so long and kind of got put on the back burner there for a bit, and maybe wasn't made the highest priority it should have been. But they are building the $100 million stadium. So, I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't want to sound like a Danny White sheep, but I don't think being unappreciative of him and trying to run him out of town is the move. That's just how I feel about it. Because I think it may be as simple as Tony just sees this as a huge opportunity, and he's
well. I think Evan. I think what you're saying is right. I think what you're saying is right. That's kind of how I feel. But also, I think what Evan is saying in the chat is right. Danny White is a great AD most of the time, but he sucks at personal relationships and does not care to burn bridges. This is mostly on him. I do think there's something to the idea that Danny White isn't one of us, is how he feels. He does feel like, and what I mean by that is that he is just here as a cold, calculated businessman that thinks. The way I would describe it, so the way I kind of feel is that Danny White probably cares about Tennessee here, and then Danny White here, a good step above it. I think Danny White's in business ultimately for Danny White.
Well, that's fine, but we had one of us, if you remember, before Danny White, and it didn't go very well. The athletic department was not in very good shape when we had one of us running it.
No, yeah, sure, and I like Danny White. I like Danny White. I've got no issue with it. I'm just saying I think Danny rubs people the wrong way.
Well, he's unlikable.
Well, he also is doing the tough stuff when it comes to money. He is here to make money for the university. He is here to make money for the athletic department. And look, I do think the job is completely different in 2025 than it was in 2021. I do think the budget and the money, there has to be more of it because you've got all these promises made to coaches at high salaries, but now you got all these promises made to players, and you gotta make sure everybody's getting their cut. You gotta be fundraising. You still gotta have these projects done. You still gotta have this construction done. So it sucks that Danny has to milk everybody and do all this stuff, but he does kind of have to do that in this day and age just because it's expensive to compete. You have to be able to go out and raise money. You got to be able to go out and do all this stuff.
Well, Danny's he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, because he's just, people are not going to like him. And maybe he's okay with that. Maybe he's a professional and he understands the job, and he doesn't care that everybody's going to have their pitchforks out. They'll get over it. But I don't know how else you keep all these programs healthy without soliciting that money. You know what I mean? You have to have the money.
I wrote about it on fanrunradio.com last year, just about the kind of the cost of the everything school. So if you've listened to me and Cody, if you've read the work, we've saw this coming a year ago, right? In terms of,
yeah,
it's hard to be at everything school in this climate. And I think you're already kind of seeing that affect Tennessee, right? With the reported money getting moved around between the Lady Vol basketball team and the Tennessee baseball team. Like, you got to keep football funded. You got to keep football funded. Hey, the basketball team's really good too. You got to have some money for Nate Ament. But like, it's tough. And Arkansas baseball apparently is the only team in the SEC that looked and said, actually, we don't really give a damn about women's basketball. We tried to hire Jimmy Dykes that one time and make a splash, and that was a disaster. We actually don't care about it. We care about baseball way more.
Well, and some schools are just making that decision. I mean, they're doing what they got to do and cutting certain sports that it just we're trying to keep everything good, and that's a lot of mouths to feed.
It's tough.
I just worry that Tony leaves, and then Danny White gets soured. Then Rick Barnes suddenly decides he's retiring, and we're not that far off from this thing going back to just not being great anymore.
Oh, sure.
Heupel goes 8-4. The pitchforks come out for him. I mean, we're not that far off. Like, we've had so much success the last 5 years, you'd call it. We've been so good in so many sports, but you don't hang on to that forever.
No, you don't. And like, we knew there was a finite amount of time you had left with Rick Barnes just on age, right? Like, just on him being the elder statesman. You knew he wasn't going to do that forever. And life after Barnes at Tennessee, we don't know what it'll look like. You thought you had more time with Josh Heupel and Tony Vitello. You might not have more time with Tony Vitello.
We'll see about Josh.
We'll see about Josh, who is still kind of set up to, again, go 10-2, maybe make the playoff 2 years in a row, a third top 10 finish out of 4 years. The same stuff you're saying about Danny, you need to say about Josh over there. I know you got your pitchfork sharpened. The same way you used to do.
I don't.
Same way you used to do poor Rick Barnes. You're doing now to Josh.
I am
it's just
not.
never good enough.
No, I'm not even unhappy. The Alabama loss didn't even hurt me. The Georgia loss hurt a lot more than the Alabama loss.
You weren't hurt at all after the Georgia loss. You came here on Monday feeling good. Rolling tape.
No, I felt worse and worse as time has gone on.
I don't think you started feeling bad about the Georgia loss till like 2 weeks ago.
Well, sometimes it takes grief a while to set in.
So we're on Vitello watch. And I don't know if, I every now and then you get some stuff from people. And I don't know if it's like Tennessee getting into like damage control, starting to get ready. Because like, that's the thing is like, if Vitello leaves, like, we are stuck with, like, Danny's still going to be here. Like, yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing because everyone's allegiance and heart is going to be with the guy that's leaving. And I won't hold like any ill will towards Vitello for going to Major League Baseball. But like, Danny's going to be the one here still running Tennessee and dealing with the fallout. But I was told that like, there is a little bit of an icy relationship there, but like, it's not all Danny White's fault. Apparently Tony needs more money all the time because apparently that's part of Tony's recruiting is that he kind of overpromises his budget. Like he'll commit certain dollars to certain people and like have certain things go in certain places.
He ain't a math guy.
Yeah, but that's it. He's like, I'm not a math guy. Now I was told sometimes it's twice as much as what he's actually budgeted. Well, like, hey, here's $2 million, Tony, and he's out there promising $4 million.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk out there about Tony's kind of a headache for the athletic department, but hey, I'm a national champion.
Well,
that's all you got to say,
and
Tony.
Look, there's also the adage. I mean, we've heard it for a while. Like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Like, what's Danny going to say? We're not going to pay these players. We're not going to honor these contracts. No, he's going to come up with the extra $1 million or $2 million or whatever.
Figure it out, Danny.
Yeah, and like the NIL will scramble, and like some booster will step up and get it done. So like, it's been effective so far. But I was told that's part of the rift between the two, is that Vitello is just kind of rogue and does whatever the hell he wants. But like Cody says, I'm a national champion.
Yeah.
You had fun at
Kiss
Omaha,
the ring, Danny. Yeah.
Kiss the ring, literally.
Hey,
yeah.
Danny, go look at that trophy case.
It's the only one we got. It's the only
Walking
one we
into
got.
Danny's storefront about to collect his debts. Gonna go whack him if he doesn't get another million.
Hour number 1 in the books. We'll kick off hour number 2 with some headlines. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship